Good morning, everyone. We have some amazing news today. So on the other side of the globe in Japan, some new images and pre-orders have surfaced for the Japanese import release of the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom line for all their August 2021 pre-order listings. The thing about Japan is that they are very timely when it comes to the shipping out and distribution of their product in their stores. Granted, it is a much smaller country and they have a better distribution line, but they are able to give us exact dates right down to the number when it comes for what is going to show up in retail. And through this, we got to see and learn the truth that we have been talking for many weeks ago, and it is that of what our Commander class War for Cybertron Kingdom figure is going to be. And it is that of Commander class Rodimus Prime. Now, we have an image here. It is not a complete image. I'm going to translate some of the Japanese at the bottom and what's going on here. So first off, how do we confirm it's a Commander class? Well, number one, the Japanese yen price point is 13,000. That is pretty much what the Japanese Commander class price point goes for. It is what Jetfire was and it is what Skylynx was. So that is the first indicator. Number two, the KD12, judging by the number assortment, same kind of thing going on. And if you read the Japanese at the bottom, there's a mention of a trailer. Now, people are going like, well, isn't this just like, what's the point of this? We have the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. What's the point of this alt mode and stuff? So there's a lot of things going on here on the surface that people need to really see. So first of all, we'll start with the robot mode and then go into the smaller details of the car mode, if you will. So with the robot mode, it's a self-contained transformation. Everything that you see there comes from the car. I love that they're going with a Studio Ox design spoiler. Obviously, there's people within Transformers engineering department that recognize the Obari Studio Ox design, and how, to me, I've always said for years, is the superior design for Rodimus Prime. And they also included a Matrix Blade, kind of a throwback to the Transformers Regeneration Simon Furman line of comic books, issues 81 to 100. Great series. I suggest you go read up on it. So that's really cool too. He also comes with his Photon Eliminator, his classic Rodimus Prime gun that he had with his original toy. A lot of really good looking stuff there. Now people are looking at the alt mode and they're going like, what's going on here? Why is he turned into Hot Rod? There's a few things you have to look at. First of all, number one, the trailer is absent here, which is going to make a big play set and a whole bunch of a combination of why the price point is going to be the price point. Also, you have to look at the subtleties of what makes a front end Hot Rod different from a Rodimus Prime. Rodimus Primes don't have his hot rodded engine. It's absent here. A trailer is going to wrap all around that. That spoiler is going to pretty much roll forward, and you're going to put a trailer around it, and it's going to look spectacular. I'm going to put some side-by-side photos of animation models and stuff, so you could also see the difference of a Hot Rod to a Rodimus Prime, even just from an animation standpoint. So that's something you have to keep in mind, too. And this is some exciting stuff. Pre-orders are going to start for this on the Japanese side of things March 10th, 2021, and we know what our Kingdom Commander class is now. Now, as I said before, what's going on here is it's going to be a big play set. How it's going to integrate with the arc, we don't know, but that is going to be part of the play pattern. Possibly, not confirming this, but possibly also have peg points for that of the fossilizer gimmick. Once again, the general thing when it came to Commander classes were that they were usually used as a centerpiece to accentuate gimmicks within the line. When you looked at Jetfire, he came with a ton of blast effects. Blast effects made their debut unofficially. Obviously, they were in Cyberverse and a few other places, but they officially made their line-wide debut with that of the Siege line. And Jetfire came with, I think, like 9 of them or something. Came with a lot of them. More than any figure up to that point in Transformers. He came with the most blast effects. When you look at Skylinks. Skylinks was falling into what was going on with the modulators, building these cities, building these playsets. And Skylinks, a character that never was a playset historically, all of a sudden fell into becoming one. And we had the beautiful cities that you could build with Skylinks and all the modulators and all that moving forward. So now we have fossilizers. That's the primary new fresh gimmick of the Kingdom line. And pretty sure with the playset that Rodimus will have, which will obviously have his giant turret and probably some blast shields and all the other craziness, they'll probably have peg points for the fossilizers, create some kind of, weapon gimmicks, who knows. But I really like what I see here. I love this robot mode. The robot mode especially, the fact that it comes with the Matrix Blade, the fact that it looks like the Studio Ox design, the Obari Rodimus, the best Rodimus in my opinion, and that's coming from, I'd like to say, the biggest Rodimus Prime fan in the world and Hot Rod fan in the world. I'd like to say that. Kind of have like a collection that would probably tout that quite a bit. And we're just not seeing the final product when it comes to that of the alt mode. We just pretty much have a Hot Rod, a pseudo Hot Rod alt mode being shown here, but we just don't have the final transformed product with the trailer and everything, which will look way better when you see it in perspective. But this looks great. This is exciting. This is super. Obviously, for someone like me, it's like, well, that's going to be an expensive Rodimus Prime toy for me to pick up, to say the least. But it is what it is. Hopefully we're going to get some more images and information in the near future. Obviously, with this pre-order coming up, that means that we're probably days away from more official stock images showing up of the final product. And this won't be the last time. I get a feeling in the near future we're going to be talking about this. Hopefully even by the Saturday stream we might even have more information. But this is very exciting stuff. Super excited. And I know a lot of people are probably either going to be on one of two sides of different camps. The people who collect Studio Series confused at why this exists. The people that are just not confused by this and just really enjoy getting new crazy Transformer product. We're going to see what happens. There's still a lot more left to decipher and figure out to give a better perspective. But, some people wanted him as a leader class. Some people said he would just be better as a Voyager. I feel that, me personally, I felt that if you asked me, probably a leader class would have been better. But that trailer is going to be a major part of the bulk of it and the gimmick, in the same way that the leader class Optimus Prime, while the figure itself was more or less a Voyager, that giant trailer was a primary part of the price point of making it an Earthrise leader class, and of course later in the Kingdom filler. So chance, and not to mention, no offense to that leader class Optimus Prime, but that roller trailer really didn't do that much. It really didn't have a lot of bells and whistles and paint, where this Commander class Rodimus trailer is going to probably have a lot of bells and whistles and gimmicks and paint, because it's a Commander class, because it's going to be an integral part of the play pattern and the gimmick of the overall of the line. So it'll justify, probably it'll justify its Commander class price point. That's all I could really say. Not much else. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know how you feel. Are you hyped about this? Do you wish that it was some other character? I know that for weeks and weeks and weeks leading up to this news, people had their own opinions of what they felt it should have been. It should have been a Beast Wars related character. And in all honesty, I'll be honest with you, and this is coming from the Rodimus Hot Rod nutcase, I would agree with you. I think from keeping a play pattern and keeping a theme, I would have probably went with a Beast Wars character. But I've said this in the past already. The Kingdom line, despite that we say it is a return to Beast Wars, it really is 30% of the line really is Beast Wars. Wave 2 that just came out, if you really look at it, you have Dinobot and you have Air Razor. Everything else is G1, or it's the fossilizers that don't really fall into a Beast Wars category. And there's a lot more G1 characters, and there's a lot more, just other things than Beast Wars. So it's a Kingdom. Kingdom is a line that has Beast Wars flavor to it, but it overall is not a Beast Wars line. And I think that ultimately in the end is why we got Rodimus Prime than, let's say, a Magnaboss or, Rampage or Depth Charge, like larger characters that maybe would have fit that Commander price point. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm still excited. It looks really good. But that's just me who loves that character. So I have a little bit of a bias. But let me know what you think, and hopefully we'll have more information, more images, and a clear indication of what's going on here and why Takara and Hasbro made this call ultimately.